and welcome to our environmental podcast, a show that addresses current environmental issues as well as their solutions in order to assist us in saving our most precious planet, Earth. I'm KIARA, one of your hosts for today, and here we have my co-hosts, Francis and Christine.
Hi everyone, Francis here.
Hi everyone!
Francis, I believe you are very much excited in today's show.
Oh, I'm pretty am.
Okay, let us first move that excitement of yours. Can you tell us first a small description on how our environment is changing?
Our environment is continuously changing. That is undeniable and we all know that. However, as our environment changes, so does the need to become more informed of the problems that surround it. With a tremendous surge of natural disasters, warming and cooling phases, various forms of weather patterns, and much more, people must be aware of the types of environmental concerns that the world is facing.
Oh, before you say anything else, let me welcome our guest environmentalist for today, Christine. May you?
Today's podcast will be about the environmental issues that we are now dealing with. They will share their knowledge, answer questions, and discuss everything pertaining to today's show's topic. Let us all welcome MEALCOMAR and TRAECY. Hello, welcome and thank you for acknowledging our invitation.
Hi KIARA, Francis, and everyone who is listening. It's an honor to be here. Thank you for inviting us.
Now that we've greeted each other, shall we start?
Let us start.
Everything we see today is worse than the predictions.
The future is gonna be extremely beyond our imagination. These are going to be the situations that need immediate actions.
Climate change risks everything. Temperature will rise, death involving nature will increase.
The end is nigh. Humanity's inevitable enemy is nature itself.
Take some actions, prevent the disaster and prepare for the worst.
Now that's an entrance.
Wow! I didn't know that you guys have a surprising entrance! But without further ado, let's proceed to the topic of our show, which is environmental issues.
The main topic for today's podcast is that we will be discussing environmental issues, environmental solutions, what are examples of this that are visible to humanity, and how can we solve it, and we also have a small Q&A portion on the latter part. Are you guys ready? Tout de suite, let us proceed.
MEALCOMAR, can you share with us what are the environmental issues we are currently facing?
Yes, sure thing, Frances. Environmental issues are one of the major problems that our Earth is facing. It is the consequences of human activity on a biophysical environment and also a natural disaster that suddenly occurs. As the world's population grows, so does the amount of waste that people generate. On-the-go lifestyles necessitate readily disposable objects such as soda cans or water bottles. Nonetheless, the accumulation of these items has resulted in growing levels of plastic pollution around the world. Because plastic contains hazardous chemicals, it has the potential to inflict severe environmental impact in the form of air, water, and land contamination.
That was deep explanation, MEALCOMAR. Simply put, plastic pollution happens when plastic accumulates in a region and begins to severely affect the natural ecosystem, causing difficulties for plants, wildlife, and even humans. This frequently entails harming plant life and endangering nearby wildlife.
Tracy, it is still my time. Some environmental issues we are facing are global warming, climate change, pollution in air, water, and land, deforestation, overpopulation, and ozone layer depletion. These are just some of the issues we are facing now, but we will only be discussing the major and the most difficult problem we are facing now, which are global warming, climate change, and pollution. Now, let's go to Tracy because she will be the one to discuss the major issues we are facing currently. Okay, now Tracy, you may now take the mic.
Appreciate the information, MEALCOMAR. I'll do my best to give you a quick rundown of the major issues we're facing right now. Let's start off with global warming. Global warming is the emission of greenhouse gases due to human activity causing global warming, which is in turn causes an increase in temperature that then leads to rising sea levels, melting of polar ice caps, flash floods, and desertification. Next will be climate change. Climate change refers to a long-term shift in temperatures and weather patterns. These shifts may be natural, such as through variations in the solar cycle, but since the 1800s, human activities have been the main driver for climate change, primarily due to burning of fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas. Last but not least will be pollution. Pollution is the introduction of harmful materials to the environment. These harmful materials are called pollutants. Pollutants can be natural, such as volcanic ash. They can also be created by human activities such as trash or runoff produced by factories. Pollutants damage the quality of air, water, and land.
Can I just ask something? I was curious while listening to you, Tracy.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
You mentioned volcanic ash, right? Pollutants such as volcanic ash. Opposite of that, how do you think volcanic ash can help the environment?
Okay, let me answer that if you let me. Volcanic ash is composed of jagged rock pieces, minerals, and volcanic glass. In contrast to the soft ash produced by wood burning, volcanic ash is hard, abrasive, and does not dissolve in water. Coarse volcanic ash particles resembles grains of sand, whereas very tiny particles appear powdery, right? So, the volcanic ash and gases can occasionally reach the stratosphere, the upper layer of the Earth's atmosphere. This volcanic debris can reflect incoming solar radiation and absorb outgoing terrestrial radiation, causing the Earth's temperature to decrease.
Wow, okay, thank you for that, MEALCOMAR.
Well, did I answer your question?
Yes, you did.
Next, I think MEALCOMAR will explain and broaden our knowledge about the possible solutions for these issues. MEALCOMAR, take it away.
Thank you for that, KIARA. Now that we know what are the major issues we are facing today, then we will now discuss the solutions to these problems. We can help to prevent these issues even when we are in our house. First is to replace disposal items with reusable items. Using reusable items is better than using disposal items. Just like the word reusable, it can be used as many times as you want. This can greatly decrease garbage waste and prevent pollution. Next will be conserve water and electricity. Saving water and electricity throughout your everyday appliances can save you money, energy, and time. Tracy, can you explain further?
Okay, the other thing that we can do is deleting unwanted emails. There are about 2.3 billion email users in the world. The average email size is about 75 kilobytes, so imagine if everyone deletes around 10 unwanted emails. Spam and non-spam, it could prevent about 1,725,000 gigabytes of data being stored in the servers around the world. The energy used to store 1 gigabyte of data is around 32 kilowatt hours. Lastly, we'll be planting trees. Trees give off oxygen that we need to breathe. Trees reduce the amount of stormwater runoff, which reduces erosion and pollution in our waterways, and may reduce the effects of flooding. Many species of wildlife depend on trees for habitat. Trees provide food, protection, and homes for many birds and mammals.
Thank you so much for that information. That was very descriptive information we got from you guys. I hope the listeners are still with us. Are you still with us?
Yes, they are still here, Christine. As I am reading the comments section of our live podcast, they still have some questions. They're pretty active, actually.
Really? Huh. So I guess we're heading to the next part of our podcast, which is Francis and Christine will be asking you guys some questions we prepared from our live listeners. Are you guys ready for it?
Get it up!
Let's go!
Okay, so we will be back in a couple of seconds for the second part in our environmental podcast. Please stay with us. So we are back.
Welcome back, everyone. To our listeners and guests, welcome back.
So I guess we will now move on in the second and latter part of our podcast. Francis, you may now start asking them questions.
Thank you for the heads up, Kiara. Are you guys ready?
Bring those questions in.
Okay, let us start with this question. Let's go with Tracy first. Okay, Tracy, how important is nature to you?
It is the foundation of our economy, culture, and perhaps our basic existence. Our forests, rivers, and oceans and soils give us food and air to breathe, and water to irrigate our farms. We also rely on them for a variety of other commodities and services that are essential to our health, pleasure, and prosperity. How about you? How is nature important to you?
Oh, you're asking me?
Go ahead and answer that, Francis.
Okay, nature is important to me because in nature, or merely observing natural scenery, it lessens anger, fear, and tension while increasing pleasant sentiments. Okay, you know what? I shouldn't be the one answering these questions because I'm one of the hosts and you're the guest. So, you're Christine. Can you please read the second question, please?
Next question is, do you try to buy environmentally friendly products? If so, give some examples.
Yes, I do buy environmentally friendly products. It is a way to help the environment even though it's just a small thing. And examples of these are eco-friendly phone cases, recycled plastic belts, upcycled eco-friendly handbags, recycled plastic mat for yoga or the beach, and many more.
Thank you for that, MEALCOMAR. Next question, Frances.
So, this is our last question before we end. How do you feel when you hear about global warming? Is there hope for the future?
Wow, that is such a tremendous question. I felt horrible hearing about the current global warming. It saddens my heart that we humans let that happen on our own planet, on our own home, and on our own earth. Is there hope for our future? If humanity continues to move in such a destructive direction towards nature, then there will be no future to consider. There are numerous things you can do to make a solution in what we now know. Raising awareness in your local community and within your families about these issues, you can help contribute to a more environmentally conscious and friendly place for you and your future generations to live.
Oh, that was very heartfelt. Thank you for that, MEALCOMAR.
So I guess that was the last question we have.
Yes, that was the last question we have.
And now we've reached the end of our podcast. I sincerely appreciate both of you for being here and discussing these things with us, which are extremely pertinent in our world today.
Before we end our podcast, is there anything you guys want to say thank you to?
Oh, I want to say thank you to everyone who is listening to us right now. You have my gratitude. We appreciate you guys for staying. And last is of course the host. Thank you again for inviting us.
Did you guys have fun?
Yes, we did have fun. I'm pretty sure we're gonna be back soon.
That is so good to hear. Once again, thank you for joining us.
So Francis, as we reach the end, did you have fun?
Oh, I did have fun. I learned a lot as well. Did you have fun as well, Kiara?
I certainly did. They're so fun to be with. So that's it, everyone. This is our environmental podcast, a show that addresses current environmental issues as well as their solutions in order to assist us in saving our most precious planet, Earth. Thank you for staying and listening to us till the end. See you guys in our next one. Thank you so much.